We're on our Holland trip right now, and this is where we like to stay. These are bungalows. They're 3 stories. We have like 4 bedrooms, kitchen, and this is where we stay when we have a big group of people. It's a perfect place to be. And this is the harbor, and then I'll show you what Volendam looks like. Before we go into town where the touristy part is, this is part of Volendam. They don't usually show, but it's just a normal place to live. They have their chairs and everything out there and patios. Usually not much of a yard. If you look at the windows, very clean. They love the big open windows. They wash them all the time. They always love the Dutch always love their big windows. I forgot to mention, the road around here and here, it's only for people who live on this road. If you look at this thing right here, the people who are residents has a button they push, but that thing will go down. So that way, the only traffic get on this road that are on right now, other than bikes and pedestrians, are residents of this street, and that's it. Now start the commercial part of Volendam. There was time we drove there one time. But you could, dummy, you could park right here and walk in or walk where we did. It's a fishing village still. A lot of boats. A lot of locals even come here. It's just not tourists, but a lot of locals come and shop here and eat here. Look at all these sailing ships. Man, they take people out for excursions. Some people, they only own boats and they hide in there. It's so European to sit there and eat hours on end, especially on weekends with your family, friends. They don't sit here for an hour, hour and a half. You're talking 3 or 4 hours at a time. They sit here and eat. It's an experience more than it is actually going out to eat. They even have tables out here at the restaurant. So the restaurants are behind me. To fit more people, to come down here and have a waiter or waitress come up and down. So you can serve more people, have more room. Because up here, it's a little bit on the crowded side. So everybody has a chance to eat and socialize and have a good time. I have no idea what this is. I've seen this ever since I've been back first time here in 1980. I have no idea what it was used for or what it's used for now, but I can't read that Dutch up there. It was put here in 1934, whatever it is. But it's, you know, you're in Volendam when you see this little building right here. Guys, I don't think people ride bikes more than the Dutch. Bikes everywhere. Remember in the movie American Graffiti, Toad comes drive up in one of those things right there and kind of does a little crash into Nell's drive-in. Always reminds me of that whenever I see one of these things here. It's a beautiful night here in Holland. Weather's perfect. Can never ask for a better weather than what you're seeing right here. In Delft, there's this called the New Church. Still hundreds of years old. And this is where they bury the royalty. Matter of fact, I'll show you up here. But it's also where they actually, not in the ground here, but they open them up. It's a crypt of all the floors. Here's where he teaches right there. This is the crypt. This will open up and they climb down the stairs with a casket down to the crypt. And that is where they bury the royalty right there. That statue over there is for William, the first king, the King of Orange. And this is the organ right there, and those organ pipes. Sometimes they have balconies, some of these churches, but there's no balcony. They're straight to the stained glass windows up there. This is the home of Johannes Vermeer. This is where he lived. And a shop right here. Right next to the church right over there. You see it from 1632 to 1675. And stuff where he lived, and that's the new church right over there. We were just there. The city square is just on the other side of those buildings where we were eating. So he was just close enough to downtown area, and this is just many beautiful places in Europe. This is Delft ware here. This is one of the few places that they actually do the Delft. If you look at their different place, I'll go inside and see if they'll let us film inside. But they hand paint their stuff. You can see the sign right there. Let's go inside if I could shoot inside. I just don't get it. This is something that's been going on for a long time. This is what I've been talking about. All the stuff here. You don't mind if I show them you doing this? I won't show your face.
Sure.
So here he is, doing it by hand here. The old-fashioned way here. I can never pronounce this place. Gongenson, whatever. Where the place where all the old windmills, they moved here. And I already got past the first row of souvenir places, but we're going to be going through a lot more. This is when you see the old Dutch at its best here. We're going to go to the first one. Even the windmill's actually being used right now. This is actually being used. This is not a full one like the other ones. Yeah, they're almost like the same. This is the only one that's actually moving and actually working for it right now. Let's go see what it looks like inside. See that where it's open? Which is like where they do all the work. And under there. We're looking at the city here. Inside one of the windmills. Decided to go ahead and pay the €7.50 to get in here.
No, duran toda la vida, mira. Casi tienen 300 años.
Los puedes mandar pisar, los puedes mandar pulir ahí.
Luego los sueltas y ponemos pisotones.
Órale, va.
Yeah, I hear it. It was thundering out there.
Yes, that's our big sphere, of course.
So is that what the wind is doing?
Yes, it's just the wind that is picking up. Well, we should have a decent wind today. It's predicted this afternoon.
This is. Oh, I'm explaining on here what it is. It's a sawmill. The sawmill version of window. This is the last sawmill in existence. Lost in 2012. This is how they were able to redo it. This thing right here. They were rebuild it. there's 80 different uses of these windmills, 80 different ways. And this one we were at was just another way, is sawmill. They use the wind to sawmill to do things like what water would do for us in America. And that's what this particular one is. Of course, they don't need them like that anymore, but that's what this one is used for. We're in Amsterdam, and we're on Dam Square, the center, town center. Legos, I swear. Windmill from Legos. To a field. That's pretty cool. I don't know anything about that, but that looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. That's like an offshoot of this little main road that we're on. We're taking a side street to a flower market, so that's what we gotta see, so it's pretty cool.
It was like, we're serious with it. It was really bad.
You were fine. You're fine.
Yeah, we cut it day short. We went up to northern France, but it was damn hot.
Oh yeah,
This is like a garden within a big city.
it's been here for 600 years.
This one you're talking about?
Yeah, shh, it went silent, quiet. But I don't know how you say it, big guy.
Thankful.
This is where we ate lunch, Crispy King. It's really good. We got McDonald's over there. I don't know what part of the city we're in, but the food was good. Fries normal. The flower shop's right over there. So it's right across the street. Croquettes are average, but the french fries were fantastic. That sandwich is really, really good. Crispy King. I don't know if you see it from here, but see a house straight in front of us? How it looks like they squeezed it between those two buildings. The windows are crooked. Pretty cool. And now you see why we don't like driving there. Look how they're parking and they didn't even fall into the water.
There's only one city with more bridges than Amsterdam. Does somebody know? In Germany.
So,
And maybe you guys claim it as food. Hamburg. Yeah, exactly.
Hamburg has more?
Yeah, 2,500 bridges.
So
City of Amsterdam is built on a swamp. What happens if that wooden pillar breaks under your bike? That's what the crooked house. And if you haven't seen any of the crooked houses, just take a look in front of the boat on the bridge. You'll see that house is leaning a little bit to the left.
Oh, there's a
And we call that Amsterdam's cheapest bar. Because none of you have that.
Just I need be careful.
So that tower that you guys see in the distance, that's called the Munttoren, or the Mint Tower. And it was the official first place in Europe where you could get coins pressed and you could exchange currency. Before the euro in Europe, tell me if you can spot something unique about the building on this side of the bridge. And if you can't, that's okay, we wait till the other side and you'll see it for sure.
unique about the building.
This one right here, the lighter.
This one right here.
With the red.
The red building there.
Is the river coming out past?
So keep that in mind, just absolutely on the right track. You can find the answer after the bridge. Just look at the building again.
Two-dimensional.
It's small.
Let's see. It's really small, really thin, so that's actually a fake building. It's a facade.
Yeah, it's only that roof.
It's only that roof. That is crazy. Yeah.
Oh, it's a facade.
Oh yeah, it's just a facade. But the rest stuff's coming up.
Amsterdam is protected by UNESCO. You can't change the facade. How do you hide an like internet back in the day? So this was the way to show you that you had skills. You just decorated
Owned
your
by a
own house,
comforter.
and if you hired him, you knew that he would be capable of making something like.
On the bridge, you'll see the crest or the flag of Amsterdam. The red, the black, and the white. The three X's. And that symbolizes the three disasters which happened in the city that the people over.
This is the Albert Cope thing they have during the week. A little bit of everything: food, souvenirs, flowers. Albert Cope. I'm not going to do the whole thing, just bits and pieces of it. Kind of too tired, too worn out to go everywhere. If you wanted to do this kind of shopping, this is what it looks like. Cool. No, I can't have that. You don't. Cute little Dutch town.
Yes. Which one, the white one?
Edam.
I want some.
I love these little houses here. So cool. Then you look at the newer stuff, a little bit bigger on in size, and across the canal, back to the smaller ones. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm in a small town in the Netherlands, and these four individuals lost their lives in the war. The two on the left, pilots. The other two, they look like they're from the same airplane, because Royal Canadian, Australian, Royal Air Force, yeah. Three more here. A couple of them are unknown because when the plane goes down, they burn probably. That's how they weigh the cheese, the old-fashioned way.
Nee. 54 kilo. 54. 54. Nou, goed.
I didn't tell you before, but when Americans can't pronounce Gouda, but it's really Gouda. So that's just certain cheese called Gouda, but they have this market here. That's what we were doing, the weighing the cheese and all that stuff, the old-fashioned way. So here we are. Their market they have. They always have fresh markets, eat healthier food and stuff like that. It's really cool. And then back that way is where we were. And this is the old way station here.
Could you scoot over a little bit? I've been trying to get forward the building this whole time and people keep on going in front of me.
The old way house. I love the architecture of this building. It's really cool. We decided not to go in that church because it seems like, I don't know, it didn't happen this way last time we were in Holland. We've been here a few times, but it seems like all of a sudden they charge to go into every church. I've always donated money. I don't mind doing that, but I never donate 11 euros for it. I'll put in 2 or 3, but they want a lot of euros just to go look at their old churches. I'm not going to do it. Peace Palace in The Hague. They just got done with a NATO summit here yesterday, so fortunately we're not there yesterday.
This is a worldwide icon.
We're in Ghent, Belgium. This church here is really old. They're really doing a lot of remodeling of it there. We're going to see if we can find the big painting that's so famous here. There's a lock. The thing in Europe, the locks. Up the altarpiece, that was what I was trying to say earlier in the church. Find the altarpiece. Back at the main altar we were just saw earlier. Let's go see what's on it. I think these are apostles. Here's Peter, Paul, Matthew, Jacob Major, Jacob. And another church. I got to find the altarpiece somewhere around here. Painting is P. Rubens, Siegen, 1577, 1640. I'm about to go see the altarpiece. Some crypts for some of them are buried here. The altarpiece. to go back again. This is one of the most innovative paintings of all time. I think they were painted like in the 1200s, using new kind of oil to do the painting. When you look at this, man, it looks like you're just so, like a photograph, so real. It's unbelievable. Now I'm closer to the altar and the main part where you actually worship.
Oh, dit zijn communicabanken. Ja, nee, dat weet ik. Tante Bert. Tante Bert die
This is the first night for this kind of gathering they have here in Bruges, in Belgium. They have things, it goes all the way down there. Food, shopping, beautiful weather. We're in Dunkirk in one of the museums here. It seems to be a really good museum. I'll show you the outside later on. Look like a radio. Spitfire engine. Flare gun. Pictures. I think this is mostly French right here. This must be this guy's medals and glasses and books and stuff. Corporal Francis. Can't pronounce the last name. French. Gas mask. French. English truck engine. People left at a moment's notice. They said they didn't leave dinner on the table, but they try to gather as fast as they can. But it just created more problems. They got killed, scraped with, you know, airplanes can't tell the difference between who's who up there in the air. I'm not sure whose rations these are. They're French rations. definitely British. This is French here. They're getting in and out of this. This is made by Renault. Beaches of Dunkirk. There's a church in Dunkirk, and you can see all the boat holes on here. They want us to go in because they're having things that's going on. There's a memorial to the wars. We're just going down here to find a place to eat. The one we were at earlier was fancy schmancy, a little bit of, we don't want to deal with fancy, we just want something simple. I'm a little late, but here's a parade of old cars. I got the tail end of it. Well, maybe not. Mound. We're at Waterloo. That's my family over there going up to the top. There's their little campsite. The tents they stay in, a couple of the batteries. Where they cook their food. Oh, that's just keeping stuff in there. But this, with the tents they stayed in, it must be hot as heck. This is June. It's a little after the anniversary. It's got to be pretty hot to stay in these things. It's pretty cool how these have these art pieces like this interactive. I think that's so cool. We're in the museum. Life size mannequins with their uniforms.